Hello everyone and welcome to Past the Post. My name is Michael Ladoffs and we're going to go to the very best of racing from around the world. Kicking off in the UK, where Chester had its fantastic Derby preview meeting. This was on Wednesday, the 7th of May. The listed Cheshire Oaks in 11.5 furlong race kicked things off with an impressive performance by number 3 there, Minnie Hawk. She won by a length as the 13-8 favourite under Ryan Moore for Aidan O'Brien and Coolmore Associates. Secret of Love was second for Kirsten Rousing. It was the second one in a row for this daughter of Frankel, who was a half to Tilsit.
And it's still Queen of Thieves who's doing enough at the moment, but Minnie Hawk is a persistent rival on the outside. In behind, Secret of Love looking awkward as the rider tried to switch off heels David Probert. That's Amore, then followed by Casby Star down the outside of Kate O'Reilly and Modern Utopia as Minnie Hawk has taken it up and Queen of Thieves can't go with her. It's Minnie Hawk for Ballydoyle. 2 lengths to Secret of Love. That's Amore stays on. So too Casby Star down the outside. Minnie Hawk still maintaining this advantage. Secret of Love getting a little bit closer, but it's not enough, and Minnie Hawk wins the Cheshire Oaks. From his second, Secret of Love.
Also on that day was the Group 3 Chester Vase over 12.5 furlongs for the males. Those 3-year-olds are looking to get into the Derby, and Lamburn is definitely one to watch here. Number 4, he won by a length and a half under Ryan Moore for Aidan O'Brien and Coolmore as well. The 11-8 favourite was quite impressive, beating out 25-1 shot and Group 3 winner Lazy Griff into second. The winner is a son of Gossamer Wings, nice filly by Scat Daddy, as well as Champion Australia.
Still convergent by a half length to Lazy Griff. Lambourne is just pushed along by Ryan Moore in third place. Then Squaredale Boney further is caught wide. Thrice is back on the inside, Pink Jacket. Pinhole, still no move from Ross O'Ryan, looking for a way through now. Seems to be going pretty well. And then at the back, Fairla Nuba. Inside the 3 then, quite well grouped together. Still convergent, spearheading the field from Lazy Griff. Lambourne now into third, pushed along. Thrice on the inside further, has gone further than any other runner, and Pinhole begins to pick up from the rear of the field, but Convergence still leads the way in the Chester Vase from Lazy Griffin second. Lambourne now begins a charge down the outside. Pinhole into fourth from further. Convergent far side, Lazy Griff. Here's Lambourne. Stamina really kicking in. Lazy Griff on the far side of Lambourne. Lazy Griff and Lambourne. Lambourne edging ahead, and it's a classic trial double for Ryan Moore and Aidan O'Brien. Lambourne winning the Boodles Chester Vase.
Yeah, he had a nice win in France last year, and he had a good run in the Ballysacks behind Delacroix, and he's obviously come on for that run. The mile and a half suited him, and he was good the last furlong. He stayed on very well.
I was really taken by Minnie Hawk's performance. She looks like she's uncomplicated, just wants to get on with life.
Yeah, she's straightforward finish. She only had 2 runs at the back end, and it was her first run this year, and we were a little bit concerned about that, but she was very happy with what she's done today. She's straightforward filly and done everything right.
The very next day at Chester, we also had the listed D Stakes, where Mount Kilimanjaro won by a neck as the even money favourite under Ryan Moore, and of course, as you thought so, Aidan O'Brien and Coolmore. High Stock was second for Sheikh Hamdan Dalmouk. The winner is by Siuni, and it was his second career victory. He was second last year in the Group 1 Criterium de Saint-Cloud.
Inside the 3 in the Boodles Rain Dance D Stakes, and Great David has really served it up to them here under a very positive ride. In second is Isambard Brunel going second now. High Stock, Isambard Brunel beginning to feel it. Calla Lagoon is staying on with Hot Shot. Mount Kilimanjaro is making a few inroads now, but still with plenty to do as they race down the straight. Great David taken on by High Stock. Mount Kilimanjaro now making relentless progress down the outside. It's High Stock that took it up. But here is Mount Kilimanjaro, and Ryan Moore absolutely thrusting home on the near side. Mount Kilimanjaro getting up. Another for O'Brien and Moore.
Next up on that Thursday card, we also had the Group 3 Ormond Stakes, where favourite Illinois gave Ryan Moore, Aidan O'Brien and Coolmore yet another pattern win on the week. Al Kareem was a game second, as he always is. The winner is dual Group 1 placed, including the St. Ledger last year, and he won his second consecutive group race in the process.
and Al-Karim is trying to stretch them out here, but hasn't shaken off Illinois, who's within 2 lengths now in second. Roaring Legend, Absurd, still travelling well and has got a bit of boot, followed by Mount Atlas and Mondo Man as they swing left-handed now and head towards the 2 furlong marker. Illinois getting up the inside of Al-Karim, who again goes wide. Absurd is into third, now called on for a big effort as they prepare to straighten up is Illinois. Absurd in second, Al-Karim on the outside, Mount Atlas at the cutaway. Illinois leads the way a couple of lengths. Could it be another Aidan O'Brien and Ryan Moore? But Absurd may have something to say about it. Switch to the far side. Illinois looking a little weary but holding on very gamely, and Illinois will win the Ormont. Al-Karim for second.
Over at Friday in Chester, the last of that meeting was the Group 2 Huxley Stakes over 10.5 furlongs. The Foxes, making his first start since finishing second to Rebels Romance in Qatar, won nicely here by a length and 3/4 as the 13-8 favorite. Oisin Murphy was aboard for Andrew Balding and King Power Racing.
Inside the 5, and now to run down the back straight. Bolster leads the way to Cairo second. The Foxes, Certain Lad, Space Legend and Liberty Lane. The order hasn't really changed from the outset as they head on now towards the final 3.5 furlongs. And Bolster round the inside. Cairo for company. Certain Lad moving up a little closer out wide. The Foxes travels well on the inside. Will just need a split at some stage passing the 3. Followed by Space Legend, and now pushed along is Liberty Lane. Heading now round the left-hander for home on towards the 2 furlong marker. Bolster is asked for more. Cairo sticking to his guns on the outside. A big run from Cairo. The Foxes now angling off the inside running rail and will come wide for a challenge. Bolster still going with Cairo. Then the Foxes, Certain Lad, Space Legend and Liberty Lane is Bolster from Cairo on the near side. The Foxes out wide, now reaching top gear, and the Foxes comes pouncing past the pair of them, and the Foxes win.
He was superbly prepared by Maddie and Dwayne and everyone at home, because it wasn't completely smooth sailing from Doha in February to here. So Andrew's going to be delighted, and he was push button, one of the easiest rides you'd have around here.
I was going to say it was smooth sailing in the race. He jumped out, his ears were pricked, and he just glided so relaxed to that first turn.
Yeah, it's all the hard work at home, and he wasn't always that easy to ride, or he didn't always have that gate speed, but it's come together over the last few starts, and that was a joy to be part of.
Yeah, and then you were just happy to take that lead angled out, and he picked up so gamely.
Yeah, Andrew was happy for me to do whatever, but it's important that we have decent winners for King Power Racing. They invest a lot into the sport, and it's great to ride for them and great to have winners for them.
Let's head over to Lingfield on Saturday for some more trials heading toward the Derby, including the Listed Oaks Trial Filly Stakes over 11.5 furlongs. Blue-blooded Giselle won this one like a good thing by 9 lengths, beating out 2 others. The 3-10 favorite gave Ryan Moore, Aidan O'Brien and Coolmore yet another win on the week. Harpsichord was second. The winner is a daughter of Breeders' Cup champion Filly, newspaper of record.
So moving down the hill, Love Talk the leader. Harpsichord travelling strongly and still under a tight rein is the favourite, Giselle, in the green jacket as they come down the home straight now. 3 furlongs left to cover here. And Giselle is now beginning just to creep a bit closer on the inside. Love Talk is under a drive now. Near side is Harpsichord. And then on the inside rail, that's Giselle as they now move down towards the final furlong and a half. Giselle in front here, being held together by Ryan, leading by 2.5 to 3 lengths, and she's beginning to scamper clear here and drawing further clear in the closing stages. This is a nice workout, isn't it, for Giselle, who comes home to win as she likes. She lands the odds. Let's see where she goes next.
Next up, we had the male equivalent. This was the Listed Lingfield Derby Trial over 11.5 furlongs. This one was won by Puppet Master, guided by, you guessed it, Ryan Moore for Aidan O'Brien and Coolmore. The 4-5 favorite won by a short head, beating out stablemate Stay True, the 5-2 second choice, into second. The winner is the son of Camelot, and it was his second win from 5 starts. He was also fourth to the well-regarded Delacroix, who won later on in the weekend.
It's still just Prince of the Seas. Stay True, though, between horses as Nighttime Dancer makes his move on the outside. Puppet Master manoeuvres to get into contention on the inside. The grey being squeezed along. Rogue Impact is under a drive. On the far side, Our Henry. Down the home straight they come in the Lingfield Derby trial, past the 2 furlong marker. And it's Stay True who's just in front. Puppet Master trying hard on the inside. Nighttime Dancer, every chance on the outside, just running around a touch as they race inside the final furlong. Puppet Master now from Stay True, the 2 Ballador runners battling this out. Puppet Master and Stay True, and Puppet Master just got there.
Next up, we had the Group 3 Chartwell Filly Stakes over 7 furlongs for the 3-year-old and up fillies and mares. Great Generation number 1 there, won by a neck here at 5.5 to 1. The Marcos were teaming up for the victory here. Marco Gianni aboard for Marco Botti. Caton Stud Park owns this one. Jabara, for His Highness Sheikh Ahmed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, was a good second. Cathedral, the 11 to 10 favourite for Rafe Beckett, failed into 4th.
Spiritual, the leader. Tracked on the inside then by Ziggy's Dream. On the outside with Clearwater is Jabara. A perfect position to pounce. Now Cathedral is being shaken up to improve now in the purple jacket. Fair Angelica seems to be labouring a bit and just got slightly hampered there as Cathedral switched. Great Generation's trying to weave her way through on the near side. Jabara's come through to tackle Spiritual. The 2 of them locked together. Here comes Great Generation emerging from behind, having been held up. Now she begins to serve it up to the leaders. Jabara holding Great Generation, who's sticking her neck out and up towards the line. She wins it again. Great Generation.
We head over to Haydock on Saturday for the listed Spring Trophy Stakes over 7 furlongs for the older horses. Al Yanabi with Jim Crowley for Owen Burrows and being a Shadwell homebred won nicely by a length and a quarter as the even money favourite. Typer Flow was second. 1351 Turf Sprint winner of last year, Anaf, ran well to be third. The winner is a son of Darley's Star Stallion, Too Darn Hot.
Al Yanabi putting some pace to this as they head down towards the last 3 furlongs. Beyond halfway, Al Yanabi and Jim Crowley. Array in second position. Kikuli is following under Finley Marsh the inside. Tiber Flow working into it on the outer under Tom Marquand as they run inside the 2. Al Yanabi held together here. Array is driven, so is Kikuli. Tiber Flow could be the threat on the outside. Al Yanabi shaken up. Anaf coming widest of all, picking up some ground as well as they head inside the furlong. Al Yanabi with the lead. Tiber Flow getting closer. Anaf down the outside, still getting there. Al Yanabi on the inside, though, finds a little bit extra, and Al Yanabi makes just about all to win. Tiber Flow second.
Now let's head over to Ireland. Stakes action in Ireland kicked off at Cork on Tuesday for the listed Polonia Stakes over 5.5 furlongs for those 3-year-old fillies. First Instinct gave the invading yard of William Haggis a nice victory on the day by a head. The 4-to-1 shot had Chris Hayes in the saddle for owner and breeder Dunbirch Lodge Stud. Town and Country, a 33-to-1 long shot, was a good second there, while Babouche, the 11-to-8 favourite, was third for Judmont.
Grand Marquez in the centre in the halved colours, just about the leader. Over towards the far side is Beauty Contest. The extreme left is Truly Enchanting. Between horses, Saratoga Special in the white and red. Coming there with the pink cap is First Instinct. Down the near side, Babouche tries to pick up with Usti Atoy. Behind them, Light by Mike and Songai trying to get into it as they continue on with less than a furlong and a half to race. Grand Marquez tackled on the near side by First Instinct. Songai is coming home well over towards the far side. Behind them, Babouche well inside the final furlong. First Instinct coming home well too over towards the near side with a wet sail is Town and Country as they go to the line. First Instinct holds on for Chris Hayes, wins it for William Haggis. Town and Country up for second. Songai third ahead of Babouche.
On Wednesday, we head over in Ireland to Gowran Park. We had a couple of pattern affairs on the day, including the listed Vintage Tipple Stakes over 14 furlongs for the stayers. Goody Two Shoes won like a 15-8 favourite should, there by 6 lengths for Dylan McMonagle in the saddle and Joseph O'Brien the trainer. This one is a homebred of John McManus. Fairy Wings was second. The winner is a 6-year-old, winning his 5th race from 15 starts.
Running round the home turn. As they return to their point of departure, it is Duke maintaining a sizable advantage, turning in for the final 2.5 furlongs from Lady Doris. Goody Two Shoes followed then by Cheeky Wink and Mira Jamira, and then Fairy Wings and Riviera Queen with a slightly reduced advantage with a furlong and a half to go is Jupe from Goody Two Shoes, who's bridging the gap over the far side. Then Cheeky Wink, who's into third. Fairy Wings next, weakening is Lady Doris, and then Amira Jamira. Goody Two Shoes has quickened up very well for Dylan Brown McMonigal and quickly settled the EBF Vintage Tibble Stakes. It is Goody Two Shoes for a fine victory. Fairy Wings, Jupe, Cheeky Wink, 2, 3, 4.
About an hour later at Gowran, we had the listed Victor McCalmont Memorial over 9.5 furlongs for the fillies and mares. Madame Celeste gave the team of Jer Lyons and Colin Keane a nice 8-1 upset victory by a half length. Newton Alner Stud owns this one. Jancis was second, while Qatar Racing Siege of Troy, the 11-4 favourite, finished fourth.
They hit the straight, less than 3 furlongs to go. Elegant Madam is headed by Madame Celeste. After them in third is Uluru, and then Thalara. Jancis makes headway right into centre inside the final 2 furlongs, and they're panned across the track, and coming with a sweeping run is the top filly Jancis to go to the front from Madame Celeste, followed by Thalara. Soft Wind stays on the outside of Siege of Troy. It is Jancis and Billy Lee who just have it. Rallying well on the inside is Madame Celeste and Colin Keane, and have pulled this one out of the fire. It's a win from Madame Celeste. Natalie from Jancis. Thalara third.
On Saturday the 10th, we go over to Naas for the listed Darley Naas Oaks Trial, where Garden of Eden won nicely, giving Aidan O'Brien yet another win on the week. This one, though, was ridden by Ben Cohen. It was a length victory for the 6-1 third choice. Coolmore, of course, got this victory. Jaleo was second, and the winner stablemate Island Hopping, the 7-4 favourite, wound up third.
Less than 3 furlongs to go. It's Go to My Lovely with Shaken Up Second Island Hopping. Through on the inside Garden of Eden, followed by Calixa, Jalea, Tamam Desert. Is followed then by Medici Venus and Holly's Grace as Island Hopping just picks it up. From Garden of Eden on the inside, the stable companions are followed now by a running on Jalea. Not much between these three, and it's Garden of Eden wearing away at Jalea and Island Hopping as they race up to the last 50 yards. It is Garden of Eden winning another trial in the week for Aidan O'Brien. Jalea's second, Island Hopping in third.
On Sunday in Ireland, we go over to Leopardstown, including the Group 3 Mutamakina Stakes over 7 furlongs for the 3-year-old and up fillies and mares. Vera's Secret was no secret at all in the end, winning by 4 lengths at 5.5 to 1. John Fane trains this one, Shamie Heffernan in the saddle for Jay Brown. Fiery Lucy, Speedy Swart was second there. Favoured Vespertilio had to check into fourth.
A little more stretched out as they run round the home turn. Kicking from the front into a 2 1/4 lead is Vera's Secret. From Bella Isabella, then Sweet Chariot, Fiery Lucy. In the centre of the track is Vespertilio, now being called on for a run. Ahead of Eleanor Dashwood, but skipping further clear of the field is Vera's Secret. From Bella Isabella, down the outside is Vespertilio, and then Fiery Lucy. Next is Awakening Sweet Chariot, but not stopping is Vera's Secret. Has burned them all off. And the Mutamakina from Fiery Lucy, Bella Isabella, Vespertilio never near in fourth.
Next up, about 55 minutes later, with the listed Amethyst Stakes over 8 furlongs. Chicago Critic gave a nice 14-1 upset win for Ben Cohen and Johnny Murtaugh. It was a length and 3/4 in the end over Cortez Boy, another long shot at 25-1, finishing second. The winner is owned by Sam Minkoff and Tony Smurfit. Favoured Diego Velasquez, after acting up in the stalls, was withdrawn and scratched.
3 furlongs to go as they run round the home bend. Wadan and Cortez Bay still 1 and 2, followed by Mutasarif, who's edging closer in between horses. On the outside, Lord Masseuses, and then comes Le Friette and Chicago Critic, racing to the final furlong and a half, and it is Wadan from Cortez Bay. Mutasarif down the outside. Here comes Chicago Critic, and racing inside the final furlong, it is Chicago Critic and Ben Cohen, who have come from last to first to take them all in the Amethyst. It is Chicago Critic lengthening away from Cortez Bay, and Mutasarif. Chicago Critic, another for Ben Cohen and Johnny Murtaugh.
And the last race we will cover from Ireland was the most anticipated of the week there, the Group 3 Derby Trial Stakes over 10 furlongs on that Leopardstown turn. These 3-year-olds were headed up by Delacroix in the market as the 1-3 favourite, and he did not disappoint, winning by 2 3/4 lengths for Aidan O'Brien and Wayne Lorden in the saddle. Coolmore got yet another stakes victory on the week. Purview was second. The winner is a son of Dubawi and the great champion mare, Tepin. It was his 3rd group win and 4th win from 7 starts.
Just over 3 furlongs to go as they run round the home turn, and it is Rock of Cashel reeled in by a smooth travelling Delacroix. A couple of lengths in front of Tennessee Stud Purview, and a gap now to Acapulco Bay as they straighten at the 2, and it is Delacroix, one from the rail, who just picks it up from Rock of Cashel. Purview is trying to come into a challenging position than Tennessee Stud and Acapulco Bay, but kicking at the furlong point is Delacroix, and suddenly is gone a good 3 lengths clear from Purview, and into the closing stages it is Delacroix backing up the Ballysaxton, the Derby trial for last year's winner Wayne Lorden and Aidan O'Brien.
Now let's head over to France, which hosted a plethora of group action, kicking off with the Group 3 Prix de Saint-Georges over 5 furlongs for 3-year-olds and upward. Megara proved fastest of all. You see number 8 there, winning by a length and a half at 4-1 odds. Oisin Murphy was aboard for Ed Walker, giving that trainer his second group victory of the week. Andrew Lloyd Webber, the famous composer, owns this one. Chow Pa finished second, while Al-Qazalam Pantos was third. 2-1 favorite, Electric Storm, could only manage 6th. Next up at Longchamp, we had the Group 2 Prix St. Allery, a big prep for the French Oaks next month. This was won impressively by Gazora for Mikhail Barcelona by a length and a quarter. Francis Henri Graffard got another win on the weekend. He wore the silks of White Birch Farm, Peter Brandt. Audubon Park, the big 1-2 favorite, finished second here, completing a 1-2 for the Graffard yard.
And it's Flaming Stone that leads the way. A length and a half to Audubon Park. Christophe Soumillon is biding his time, but Flaming Stone, if anything, just getting a bit further away there from Audubon Park as they now swing the corner. Followed by Jazora and Jones, and now they're racing inside the final 500. And up ahead, it's Flaming Stone. Audubon Park now being shaken up in second, and now about to challenge Flaming Stone, and Jazora getting involved very seriously as well. Jones back in 4th place, 3 in a line. Jazora on the near side of Audubon Park. It's Jazora and Audubon Park. Audubon Park trying to dig in on the far side. Jazora's just in front though, and Jazora will win the Prix St. Allery.
The 2 Group 1s of the weekend followed. First we had the Group 1 Emirates Pour Decide des Poulains. This one is the 2,000 guineas in France and was won by Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf champion Henri Matisse. He won by a short head as the 12-5 favorite, giving Aidan O'Brien a 9th group victory of the weekend. Ryan Moore was aboard. The Coolmore color bearer beat out Jonquil, while his stablemate Camille Passaro managed 3rd. Judmont's Detain was 6th.
And it's Serengeti from in second, Misunderstood in the gold cap. Reached the Sky and Dos Mukasan. A clear 5th is Jonquil. Followed then behind them by Luther trying to get into it. Almori City, they're into the home run, heading to the final 400 metres. Henri Matisse is staying on now for Ryan Moore on the far side. Got a lot to do. Reach the Sky from Jonquil. Out wide Dos Mukasan. Henri Matisse is staying on well all the time under Ryan Moore in the dark blue jacket and comes through to take it up. It's Henri Matisse from Reach the Sky and Jonquil. Ridari's running on well. Henri Matisse does very little in front though, and it's going to be tight. He just wins from Jonquil.
And the second and last Group 1 of the weekend was the Group 1 Emirates Pour Decide des Pouliches, the 1,000 guineas in France, where Zaragana was all the rage at 4-5 favoritism and had to settle for second at the wire.
As they head now round the first of the turns, and it's She's Perfect and Kieran Schumacher that leads the way. Followed in second by, in the striped cap, Heaven's Gate. In 3rd place is Mandanaba. Mandanaba handy. In 4th, just getting a push now from Ryan Moore, is Exactly as they turn for home. These are the front 4. They're chased by Celestial Orbit and then Better Together. Zaragana now beginning to make significant progress. Now being asked the question in the green jacket on the outside. She's Perfect leads from Exactly. Mandanaba on the far side. Zaragana out wide. Celestial Orbit, Daylight and Better Together. It's Mandanaba on the far side. She's Perfect. Zaragana now charging down the centre from Exactly. Zaragana gainly with She's Perfect. It's going to be tight. Oh, it's tight. She's Perfect and Zaragana in a photo.
But in the end, the demotion of 18-1 shot She's Perfect put Zaragana back up top. The Aga Khan's Mandanaba finished 3rd, completing a 1-3 finish for the Aga Khan, while Coolmore's Exactly could only manage 4th.
During the race, we ended up with a nice spot. I could come beside Ryan and with a nice run. And I just got a bump from the horse in my inside, which caused me to be a bit unbalanced one stage. And just got a bit of nose in the end. So that's why we claim fall. But my filly, I think, deserved the win and should have won by a neck, probably on a straight course.
I don't know the rules over here. We've been invited into the stewards' room and they're going to explain and let us know the process from here. I thought it was minimal, obviously, and it was a long way out. And I was, very surprised. But, as I said, in England, that would not be overturned. In England, we would have kept it.
We head over now to the United States for 4 graded stakes over at Belmont at the Big A Aqueduct. First, we had the biggest of those races, the formerly Grade 1 but now Grade 2 Man o' War Stakes over 11 furlongs on the grass. Multiple Grade 1 winner Fire Bridge proved tough to catch here under Joel Rosario for Christophe Clement, winning as the 3-10 favorite by a length. Anglophile was second for Brian Lynch. It was a 1-2 for the late Great Sire and champion English Channel. LSU Stables owns the winner.
Far Bridge made that early move, and Far Bridge reaches the top of the lane. The big favorite is in front and trying to run away with the Man o' War. Anglophile is in full pursuit down the center of the course, but still a hand ride on Far Bridge, and Far Bridge has a furlong left to get. It's Far Bridge who's up by a length and a half. Anglophile is a stubborn foe towards the outside. Far Bridge is inside the final 16th. Anglophile clears second, but Far Bridge is much the best in the Man o' War. Far Bridge wins it over Anglophile, then came Padiddle.
Next up, we switch gears and go to the dirt sprinting, the other side of the spectrum, the Grade 3 John A. Nerid Stakes, where the big favorite was even money choice What You Talking About number 3 between horses. He only could win by a head though, beating out 12-1 shot Silver Slugger. Anarchist, the second choice, was pulled up and retired with injury. Irad Ortiz was aboard for the victory.
They reach the top of the stretch and Surveillance is challenging. What You Talking About in between horses, right there at the rail is Silver Slugger. Full Moon Madness is trying to catch the top trio. They throw it down here in the final furlong. What You Talking About in between horses. Silver Slugger battling on here at the rail. Surveillance is trying to beat them both. What You Talking About, very game in between rivals. What You Talking About won it.
Next up, we had the Grade 2 Ruffian Stakes, over 8 furlongs for 3-year-old and up fillies and mares. Jody's Pride, number 8, won by 3/4 of a length here, giving Joel Rosario another graded stakes victory on the weekend. Jorge Abreu, a former assistant for Chad Brown, won here nicely for Parkland Thoroughbreds and Partners. Sterling Silver was second, with big favorite My Main Squeeze finishing third.
They reach the top of the stretch. My Main Squeeze has a host of pursuers, and Jody's Pride is cut loose in the 2-path. Sterling Silver starts to roll on the grandstand side too. Jody's Pride found that seam. Sterling Silver with all the momentum. My Main Squeeze is back to third. Jody's Pride for a final 16th. Sterling Silver's lunging late. Down on the inside. Jody's Pride. Joel Rosario, they win the Ruffian. Jody's Pride over Sterling Silver. My Main Squeeze.
And the last graded stakes of the week that we'll cover from around the world was the Grade 3 Peter Pan, a 9-furlong affair for the 3-year-olds and a big prep for the Belmont Stakes in 4 weeks. AMLO Racing's Hill Road had skipped the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness Stakes in order to go to this race, and indeed rewarded his followers with a 3/4 length victory under Flavian Pratt. The 2-1 second choice beat out McAfee into second, and even money favorite Captain Cook finished third for Brad Cox.
They reach the top of the stretch, and Captain Cook is very stubborn in game towards the inside. McAfee continued to travel well, is ready to challenge, and McAfee to the outside. Hill Road is coming from far out of it, and here comes Hill Road with sights on the top two. Captain Cook is in front. McAfee, these two shoulder to shoulder, and Hill Road about to join them both. McAfee's taking the lead. Here comes Hill Road with every single stride to win the Peter Pan.
Now let's look at what's coming up this week. On Thursday, we of course have the Dante Stakes, part of the Dante Festival, the first big week of the year at famous York Racecourse. Also in the UK, on Saturday, we have the Group 1 Lock-In Stakes that could feature the likes of Notable Speech and Rosalien. We'd love to see those clash once again. And the biggest race of the weekend is the $1.5 million Grade 1 Preakness Stakes over in Baltimore, Maryland. where journalism will take on the likes of Sandman, and our UAE Derby runner-up and Carnival winner, Heart of Honor, will be there for Jamie Osborne and Safi Osborne in the irons, wishing them the best of luck. We thank you all for tuning in. In the meantime, may all your photo finishes be winning ones.